Hey everyone, well in this video I am working on my new Holland BR780 baler. Hydraulic bale tensioner system right over here. More specifically, I blew a hydraulic hose that controls the hydraulic pressure for the bale tensioning system, I guess you would call it, or bale density system. This is a closed, what they call a closed system. It's not plugged into the tractor all the time. You charge it up and then you flip the valve on the tractor to the float position. There's a plug-in port at the front of the baler where the pressure gauge is that you can see from the tractor. I'll go ahead and show this right away here. I'll open the door. See if I can get a shot over this plug-in here. I'll show you here. It's right over here on the back of the gauge here. It's a flat face coupler there. You plug it in here and then you just run a hose to your remotes on the tractor. You plug it in there, you charge up your system. The hydraulic cylinder with the tensioner arm, it's tied to a big extension spring, and that's putting constant pressure on the bale as the belts expand. There's what they call a sledge roll or a swing arm, and it swings and opens up inside the chamber of the baler, and that's putting constant pressure on your bale as it's getting bigger and bigger. And this is a system that keeps tension on the bale as the bale is forming and while you're building your bale until you get the final size, and then you tie off, dump, and then restart the system all over again. It's automatic. It does its own thing. You don't have any control over this. Like I say, all you do is charge up that port at the beginning of the season. This system here has to work. You can't have any leaks in it. And this hose here, when I was baling a couple days ago here, literally I was finishing the last couple bales. Like I say, I noticed all suddenly I was losing pressure as and the baler gets cranky. It starts to grumble, and the tensioner system, when it starts getting too slack, you can do damage to the baler. I wasn't to that stage. I was still within safe operating range, but I noticed I had dropped a few hundred psi pressure. So, and what it was this the old hose, like this one here, is was cracked or had a little leak starting right at the fitting here, and it was starting to leak down. So I went ahead and ran to town yesterday evening just before closing, or right at closing. Parts guy at the dealership there made me a new hose, so gone ahead and putting this back together today. Got to get this back up here in this guide track or rail here. There's hold down clips. I'm going to go ahead and bolt this all up. I might show some of this as I'm doing it. I don't know, we'll see. There's obviously two hoses here, and they go from this side. There's a cylinder here, and there's another cylinder on the other side of the baler. So anyways, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Sorry I haven't gotten any footage of me making hay this year yet. Well, just to say I can get a small batch in between the showers, but I can't just keep rolling and cutting like I'd like to. I have to keep stopping and starting, stopping and starting. Cut a small batch, run out, rake it, just get it baled literally a half hour or an hour before another rainstorm comes in. The hay is coming off nice, but it's literally just chasing every bale before. It's literally just chasing it before the rain comes in. So this year you can't get a good run in and get a whole bunch of baling done or whatever. It's just how it is. So. Yes, I should have had an extension on my kind of a pain in the arse or whatever, how these things, I'm just not tightening down yet, I'm just getting it in place. And then there's a couple of like frame or body keeper clips over there that hold it up in the channel. There's one goes one way and one goes the other, and you put a bolt through it, and keep everything in place in this channel. And then there's a deflector or a protective shield that goes over the back of it here to keep the hoses from getting caught anywhere. So keeps them in a rail here so they don't rub up against the belts. And there's a cover tin or shield that goes over to keep them from getting snagged from the backside. So I'll show you when I get a little further along here and start getting this buttoned up, but just to give you an idea here what I'm working on. So okay, well, you can see I got everything buttoned back up. I got the hold down clips there in there all in place, got the hose routed back where it's supposed to be. Got the protective shield back on, everything's bolted down, tightened down. Hydraulic fittings are torqued down. And I went ahead and cleaned up the oily mess on that control block there, because balers are dust magnets, and they work in a very dirty environment, a constant cloud of dust. So the minute you have a hydraulic leak, you've got a major mud mess of crud stuck to everything. So went ahead and degreased that and wiped it down, so that's cleaned and good. Now the last step of this process is to recharge this closed loop hydraulic system, and I'll show you here. Actually, I'll just take and show you the whole process here, well, how I got this set up here. This is like I said before here. I got a hydraulic hose coupled into the feeder pressure system, and then just back over here plugged into the tractor remote here, just on the one side. All you got to do is, like I say, bring the pressure right up to full pressure, whatever the tractor puts out, and then just hit the float valve on the tractor and let it go back down to 0, and then lift the tailgate a couple times to cycle oil through the system, because when those cylinders move back and forth, they will move oil through that new line that I changed there. And then I'll apply pressure 2-3 more times just to bleed out any air in that system, because you can't have air in there. By opening that closed system and you know, changing the line, you've now got a big air pocket in there, so you've got to circulate that back and forth by opening and closing, and those cylinders will extend and retract every time you open and close the tailgate, so it'll move oil back and forth through that new hydraulic hose or line there. So then I'll, like I say, re-pressurize the system, and I'll probably just show you the procedure here of what I do in the tractor. Nothing special, it's pretty simple, straightforward, but I might as well show you the whole thing step for step. That way anybody that wants to know how to do this, if they don't know or bought one of these balers recently, well, you'll know the procedure, how to go about it. So okay, got the tractor running here just at a little bit of an elevated idle. Go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and pressurize the system. Sorry about the dirty back window. You can hear me talking here. All I'm going to do is just take and apply pressure into that system. Just like that. Give it a couple little shots and it's pressurized. Now I just take and hit the float, and to relieve the pressure, I'll go ahead and add pressure again. You can see the hose jump because it's under full load or full pressure, and then I'll release the pressure. There, pressure is off, it's down to 0. Now I'm going to go ahead and lift the end gate or the tailgate. Like I say, sorry about the dirty window. You can see the pressure on the system there. I can see it. I guess you guys can't see it from here, unfortunately, but I'm looking at the pressure gauge on the baler there. There we go. And then lower the tailgate. And when you do that, when you right now, because the tailgate is closed, the pressure in the system is at that point is non-existent. It drops back to zero. There isn't the pressure comes on when the cylinders start to extend, like I say, and it'll go from, you know, starts from zero and goes up to whatever you want to set your pressure system at, because they've got that control valve at the back corner that I showed before there. That's where you set your running pressure when you have a full bale or operating, when it picks up and gets your first, when the core gets started. When the tensioning system starts to pick up, that's when it'll pick up pressure, and it goes to, you can set these systems from 16 or 1500 psi up to 2200. That's the operating range, if I remember correctly. I don't run it that high. I run around 1750. That's where I set it at, because whenever you go anything above, you start getting 1800 to 2000 psi, especially in that 2000 or plus psi range. On these balers, you end up having a lot of bearing failures. You can make a really hard bale, so hard that you can't even get the bale spike into them. But even at that rate, though, it is hard on everything on the baler. All your rollers, all your bearings, like I say, they all take a beating at and you got to have a really good or a fairly new set of belts. Your bale chamber belts. A lot of guys end up popping ends on the lacings and stuff when you're doing it, when you run them that high pressure. So I run mine, like I say, in that like 1650 to 1750 range. I used to run at 1850, but having a lot more bearing failure at that pressure range. So I dropped back down to, like I say, in that roughly 1700, 1750 range. And it seems to be that's where the happy medium is, where you can still make a really nice tight bale, but the baler will also live a lot longer too. You're not replacing bearings all the time. So anyways, we'll go ahead and pressure this up. There we go. Now we got, I'll go ahead and actually show you guys here. See if I can zoom in on that. Right now it's at maximum pressure. And I'll go ahead and hit the lever and relieve the pressure. There you go. See, it just dropped right down to zero. And then I can bring it back up. There we go, right up. And release the pressure. And we're back down to zero. Now I'm going to go ahead and open the tailgate on the baler again. You can see the pressure comes up. That's when it's in its closed position. Got about 1600, 1700 psi, and I'll go ahead and close the tailgate. There we go. You can see its system is back down to basically zero, and that's how I run my bale pressure. So that's how I run my system on this to, like I say, bleed out any of the air pockets in it. You cycle them a few times back and forth. I'll probably do it a couple more times off camera just to make sure that I'm good. I'm going to go around the back of the baler, check for any leaks, make sure everything is good, and then I'm good to go back in the field and bale again. Well, at least till something else breaks. That's usually how it goes with balers in haying season, but anyways. Yeah, we're good. No leaks. Checking around over here. Right now, the system as it sits when the tailgate on the baler is closed and there's no bale in the chamber. Like I say, the system is zero. There's no pressure on it, but I've pressured it up here several times. My fittings are all dry. There's no drips. There's no leaks. This is what sets your final pressure when you can turn it up or turn it down. When you zero the system and there's zero oil pressure on it right now, this is when you back this knob off, then you can adjust this stop here where you want to, this pressure control valve, a relief valve essentially, and that's where you can control from basically, like I say, 1600 up to 2100 psi operating pressure. Like I say, I've got it set about around the 1700 psi range, and that's where I'm happy at, that 1750 in that range. Like I say, I run it about 1700, I guess, roughly, just as a general operating zone. But anyways, fitting is clean on this side, no drips, no leaks. Good over here, no drips, no leaks. There you have it. I'll go ahead, shut the tractor off, and unplug that system here now. Doesn't matter. It's just a flat face quick coupler. Pop it off and put the cap back on it, and then we're good to go to the field and start baling again. One New Holland BR780 baler fixed once again and back up and going, and hopefully we can get a whole bunch more baling done without too much more trouble, but never know. That's what it is with hanging equipment and running equipment in general. There's always something to fix, and there's always things that break. That's how it is. So in upcoming videos here, hopefully I can get some footage of me doing some of my haying. I haven't up till now, like I say, just always racing the weather here, trying to get as much done as I can between the rains. And it's not always convenient to carry a camera around or to even think about it. You're just focused and concentrating on getting as much hay made as you can in a short amount of window opportunity that you have. So I'd just like to say thanks once again, everybody, for stopping by and checking out another one of my videos. Hope this one you found somewhat entertaining and hopefully helpful if this is what you run into if you have these machines. So we'll see you folks all in the next one.